So the best specialist inside of Battlefield 2042, I think without a doubt, is Mackay. And I know there's going to be arguments made for other characters in the game, like Angel, the SG-36 sentry gun, or possibly even Sundance, another rival mobility character inside of the game. And all of those are wonderful candidates, but I just don't think they can do what Mackay does. The level of mobility, whether or not we're talking initiation, so the ability to get to a vantage point, to an elevated position, to, you know, move closer or close the distance on somebody and be unpredictable. There are many times where I'm just about to fight a guy I know is going to come out of cover, and I grapple the ground next to where he's going to come out, and he's expecting me to be 20, 30 meters away, and instead I'm right there 2 meters away from him when he comes around the corner and completely surprise the guy. So you can use this guy in such an aggressive way that just honestly is going to take a certain level of mastery and experience to get down. But even the evasiveness, the ability to grab a hold of something above you and get out of a sticky situation from vehicles or other players, just this level of freedom to play is unrivaled. The closest thing would be Sundance with the wingsuit, the ability to get to high elevated positions and stuff, but there's so many things that have to come together. You need an elevated position, you can pretty much only do it once, and you can't do it as loosely and as freely as somebody like Mackay can. As always, we're going to talk about the strengths and weaknesses of a character. We're going to lead in with a cool little fun fact you may or may not know, but Mackay, when you are pursuing the tier 1 skin unlock for Mackay, all you have to do is have elevated kills above somebody. And you can easily do this by grappling up to a rooftop and shooting down and sniping and picking people off. But one thing that people may not know is that this also counts for vehicle gameplay as well. So if you're going to an elevated position with like a bolt, you can do that. I know guys that have never so much as fired a weapon with this. Guys that strictly play Battlefield and helicopters. All you got to do is equip Mackay, hop in the pilot seat, kill somebody with the Nightbird, do it a bunch of times, and that can do it. So yes, this is one of the only skins in the game that you can unlock without so much as firing an actual machine gun or something, which is pretty neat. You can just use vehicles to do it exclusively. So it's a cool little trick for somebody that spends a lot of time in aircraft that can contribute to his skin unlock. Now moving on. Now the grappling hook is really the key to what makes him so valuable. But he also has arguably one of the best traits in the game as well, Nimble, which allows him to basically move faster when you are aiming down sight. Now, this is crucial. In terms of dueling, this is a major advantage. The quicker you're able to move left to right, the more unpredictable you are. And seeing as how he's the only character in the game that can do this, it makes gunfights more inconsistent when 9 of the other specialists, so a bunch of your other enemies, move left to right in a certain pace at a certain speed. Mackay's will be a little bit different. Therefore, that sort of pattern, that kind of comfort that you're used to pathing somebody with, is going to be different with him, and that makes it unpredictable and harder to manage. So Mackay has so many benefits to his character, so many things that help reinforce the defensive side of him, but the offensive side of him as well. And the grappling hook could do some really neat things too. It will grab onto not just surfaces, so on and so forth, but it can grab onto things like motion sensor balls. If you were to throw one of the sensor balls, the proximity mines, up into the sky, I've seen guys do trick shots with this, and I actually think this is a cool tactic if you really want to master Mackay and really get in there and try this, because you can throw a sensor ball into the sky, grapple hook it, and then be at the level of the helicopter, and you can RPG it out of the sky. It seems like a trick shot, but with practice, you can actually get really good at this. I know guys that can hit these shots on the pilots of the Nightbirds and stuff like this consistently, and it's actually easier in my opinion, because when you get up to that elevation, you're on a flat horizontal level with the helicopters. There's less to calculate in terms of angles and, you know, velocity of the helicopter, because you are flush with it. You are at the same height that the helicopters generally are going to be. So now it's just so much shooting right at it or leading it a little bit to destroy it, and it's just a lot easier shot to hit. Of course, the trick is getting that high, but you know, with practice, you could probably find confidence in it. And again, Mackay is not a very approachable or easy character. Anybody can grapple up to a high elevation point, but to use him to that level of getting in and out of situations, it's entirely something you have to teach yourself. You have to master and practice with him. But Mackay will single-handedly be the only specialist that I use when I have all of mine done and worked through, because he is that valuable. And when you learn to think that this grappling hook can get you out of any situation, you can survive things so much more confidently with him than any other character in the game. And the elevation, the advantage is they'd be able to shoot people without them knowing where you are or being in a very unpredictable location. Makes him extremely confident and smooth when it comes down to just assassinating or flanking somebody, which is huge. Another thing, a little thing to note, basically he grapples onto smoke, as weird as that sounds. So I don't think you can really use this as like a tool to your advantage because, well, smoke generally has to detonate on a surface and you can basically just grapple a surface. But it's worth noting because it's actually gotten me killed a few times where I planned on expecting my grapple to go through the smoke and grabbing like a tank or a wall or something that I can use the smoke as an evasive cover, and I can kind of like grapple right through it. But it doesn't do that. It actually grabs the smoke cloud itself, which is a weird bug. And there's a lot of times where I'm thinking it's going to go through the smoke, it actually grabs the smoke and it gets me killed. So just a little thing in the back of your mind. If you can use it in a sort of advantage-based situation, sure, take it, go for it. That will be patched sometime in the near future. They have addressed that, so that is going to be a short-lived little thing to experiment with. But that is my opinion of Mackay. I think he is the best to use out there if you're an aggressive player, if you're a passive player, if you want to be able to get out of fights and survive more, if you want to be able to initiate in hard-to-reach locations and honestly have the head glitch and have that advantage. Nobody does it like Mackay. Hands down the most valuable offensive and defensive character in the entire game, and I don't think it's even close. So that is my opinion. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below, guys. If there's anything you have to add, any tips or tricks to help other people out with Mackay, please share that in the comment section below. But either way, let me know what specialists you'd like to see next, and I'll catch you with another 2042 video tomorrow.